What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 4s to look at. The Air Jordan 4 Retro. This is the collaboration with Undefeated. Before we get into the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. Now, these videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to, get into the review. So this sneaker actually did come in this, this is actually one of those silverish gray boxes, and we've actually seen this with Air Jordan 13 sneakers of that such, but it is all, silver and gray, and it does have this circle here in the middle, and you have the red Jumpman logo. From there, it's not really too much going on with the outer box. Up underneath, really not too much going on. They just have some Nike copyright information there in black, but for those that do care about that, there you go. Now, the box label on the sneaker says Air Jordan 4 Retro. The colorway says deep green, cement line, black, and I'm imagining that says white. But for the most part, this sneaker is one of the most exclusive Air Jordan 4 sneakers that you can find. And one thing about this particular sneaker, just doing some research. So Undefeated, they're actually a clothing store, and they actually are an apparel company. And from my understanding, they have collaborated with Nike before. Undefeated wasn't really up underneath my radar, but one thing about this sneaker I did like, they actually did give you this black traveling case here, and it does have the Undefeated branding there, so you do have the number 5 there, and it does look like it's stitched in. Pretty decent quality. And then you do have it says Undefeated in case there, and it is some pretty decent Velcro. The quality of the bag is pretty decent. So when you open the bag, you are met with the actual sneaker itself. And from my understanding, this was actually a sample sneaker that they actually did decide to move forward with, but they actually just only produced limited pairs of this sneaker. I'm not really sure how many, but I do know that there were actually a few different versions of this sneaker, so I'm not really sure exactly which version this one is, but just looking at images online, it seems to be pretty consistent with what was released. But for the most part, you do have your standard Air Jordan 4 build, and then it's this olive green going through the entire sneaker, and then you do have your rubber netting, just like with most Air Jordan 4s. But let's go ahead and get into it. Air Jordan 4 Retro Undefeated. So let's take a look at the right sneaker like we do with most of our videos. So for the most part, the sneaker is composed of a nubuck upper, and it is some pretty transitional, excellent quality, nubuck. The sneaker itself, it does have the standard build that you would expect with most Air Jordan 4s. And it is in this olive deep green, whatever they want to call it, throughout the entire upper. Going towards the back portion, you do have this triangular wing. Now, one thing that is kind of confusing for me, because I've looked up, quite a few images of this sneaker. It does seem there are some that are a glossy black, but this one is kind of just matted out, and you do have the black matte lace crowns on this sneaker as well. Now, going toward the mid portion, you do have your plastic rubber cage there, and you do have that deep green nylon mesh material up underneath. Going towards the midsole of the sneaker, you do have this off-white creamy midsole, and you do have this air bubble that's consistent with most Air Jordan 4s, and it is orange on the inside, pretty decent touch. You do have this black rubber coming from up underneath, and then over here on this secondary midsole, you have that matte black finish there. That's pretty much it for the lateral side. Swinging things over to the front portion of the sneaker, you do have your deep green nubuck, and again, excellent nubuck. The toe box area is in a nubuck. The mud guard here is in that nubuck. They do have like, this green stitching, going throughout the entire sneaker as well. Going towards the upper portion of the toe box area, you do have more of that netting material there in green, and you do have the green nylon mesh up underneath. The sneaker did come with these flat green laces, and they actually did give us a few lace options, and I'll go over that shortly. But just like any other Air Jordan 4, going up towards the mid portion is all like, that netting and nylon mesh material up underneath. But then when you do get to the tongue of the sneaker, things do tend to get, a little bit interesting. So let me unlace it so you can get like a better view. So one thing that's unique about this sneaker, so with most Air Jordan 4s, like, yes, you would have like, this tab here. This time they actually gave it to us in this black, and you do have the orange Jumpman logo. The Flight branding, I'm not really sure if you can see it like here, but I try to get in the B-roll images. You do have the Flight branding there in black, and they do actually have this, it's like a Velcro. And from my understanding, Undefeated, they actually have like, tactical branding, not branding, but tactical clothing as well. So I think that's something that's supposed to be inclined with that. But I'm going to move, this portion here out the way, the tongue. But up underneath, you do have like, the reverse Velcro side. And you do have, it says Jordan Red Air there stitched in on the tongue there in white. Pretty dope touch. Me personally, I probably just wear like, the black sticker on top of it just to kind of like, just bring out like, more of the orange and try that. And I actually think, cause they did give us some few lace options here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the green for the orange laces just to kind of give it like, more contrast. But up underneath, you do have this, it's like a satin material tongue, and it is like, in that green, deep green color. Going towards the back portion of the tongue, it is in orange, and you do have the Undefeated branding text there in white. The sock liner of the shoe is actually all black. The inside of the sneaker, not really going to pull it out, but you do have your standard Air Jordan 4 insole on the inside, and it is in orange, and you do have the black Jumpman logo there. Switching things over towards the medial side of the sneaker, just like any other Air Jordan 4, it is consistent with the other side. So you do have another, triangular wing here, matted out in black. You do have the matte lace crowns, more of that deep green nubuck going throughout the entire sneaker, and then you do have this green netting, and then the nylon mesh up underneath there as well. The midsole is on this side, of course, like you do have that off-white creamish color, and then you do have the other side of the air bubble there. Coming up from underneath, you do have, the black rubber sole as well, and that's pretty much it for the medial side. Going towards the back portion of the sneaker, you do have this, and it does feel like a nubuck back tab here, and they did give us the black Air Jordan Jumpman logo on the sneaker. You do have more of that deep green nubuck here, and then of course, more of that off-white cream midsole. Going towards the bottom portion of the sneaker, so standard Air Jordan 4 bottom, it is all black, and you do have that herringbone traction going throughout the entire sneaker. You do have the hit of this orange here going towards like, the toe area, and then you do have the orange Air Jordan Jumpman logo there on the mid portion of the sneaker. But in a nutshell, that is pretty much it. But let me go ahead and grab the left sneaker so you guys can check that out. And the left sneaker is pretty consistent with the right sneaker. Everything is pretty much the same there, same bottom, same back and everything. But they did give us a few lace options, so let me go ahead and check those out. We'll showcase those to you guys real quick. The inside of the sneaker is pretty much the same, no Undefeated branding or anything like that other than what's on the back of the tongue. But they did give us, these secondary lace options. They gave us this orange, and they did give us the black. I feel like the black laces look pretty decent too, but I don't know. I feel like, me personally, I'm going to swap the green laces out for the orange. It just adds a little bit more character to the sneaker. I mean, it's only like, you know, a few hits of orange on the sneaker, and I feel like the orange laces that help bring that out a little bit more. But nevertheless, man, the sneaker itself, if I was actually to rate this sneaker, I would actually go ahead and give this one a 10 out of 10. Pretty solid concept, you know, as far as like, you know, Air Jordan 4s go. I feel like, you know, they did keep it pretty simple. I do love the hit of the nubuck material that they have on top here. Like I said, excellent transitional nubuck material. I do like the Velcro tongue on the sneaker, the lace options. I feel like they did a decent job there as well. Excellent. As far as like sizing goes, now Air Jordan 4s to me, again, like I tell you guys in all my videos, it's the pinky toe killer. So I don't really foresee a reason to go up or down like a size. It's just like, you know, the design, the craftsmanship on the sneaker is just the way that the sneaker kind of slopes here. It kind of just rough on your pinky toe. But if you wear the sneaker a little bit, you know, over time it'll start to like, you know, form to your foot. But I do feel like these stay, you know, fit true to size. That's for me, so I'll recommend you guys doing the same. As far as comfort, it does fit just like any other Air Jordan 4 sneaker. Nothing special there. But I do want to take the time to shout out to the vendor who actually gifted me these sneakers to actually, you know, review on the channel for you guys. But I do want to take a second to thank you guys for always tuning in. Please stay engaged. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the B-roll and the 360 like I always do. But there you go, Air Jordan 4 Retro Undefeated. So there's the front portion of the sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left. There's the bottom portion of the sneaker, standard Air Jordan 4 bottom. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there's the rear. But again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.